You know the feeling. The whole day vanishes into a haze of digital static. You're jumping from one video or game to the next, but you're not actually having fun. You just feel completely drained. This is the distraction spiral. The more you try to escape into entertainment, the less satisfying it becomes, leaving you stuck in a loop where the very thing meant to refresh you actually makes you feel worse. When you hit this wall, your first instinct is usually to try and hustle harder or aggressively push through the brain fog, but fighting it head-on only drains you faster and pulls you deeper into that same cycle. Breaking out of this doesn't require more effort. In fact, it requires giving up entirely. By choosing to do absolutely nothing for a short window, you can initiate a reset that makes even the hardest tasks feel approachable again. To execute this reset, you only need 3 things: 5 minutes of uninterrupted time, a blank wall, and total digital disconnection. If you can master this brief period of intentional nothingness, you can generate real, genuine motivation to do your most difficult tasks out of thin air. To understand how this works, we need to look at your dopamine baseline. Think of it as your brain's normal setting for the stimulation it expects at any moment. This chart shows what happens to that baseline when you consume a steady diet of high-stimulation content. As you game or scroll endlessly, your baseline climbs higher and higher. Your brain gets used to this intense level of input as its new normal. But look what happens when you switch to a productive task. A normal activity registers as a massive drop. Going straight from gaming to writing an email is like walking out of a heavy metal concert directly into a silent library. Your brain is wired to chase rewards, naturally fighting to avoid that sudden drop in excitement. Chronic procrastination stems from this predictable chemical mismatch. Your brain's inflated expectations collide with the quiet reality of work, making movement forward feel impossible. To fix this, start with step 1. Let go. Give yourself permission to stop fighting yourself. Drop the guilt about being unproductive and accept your current state. Step 2 is absolutely non-negotiable. You must physically unplug. Put the phone in another room, close the laptop, and step away from the screens. The biggest mistake people make here is leaving a podcast or music playing in the background. You have to turn all of it off. Any trickle of entertainment keeps your dopamine levels artificially propped up. You need absolute zero stimulation to mechanically force that baseline to drop. These first 2 steps aren't a test of your willpower. You are simply designing a physical environment where getting distracted is literally impossible. That brings us to step 3. Embrace the boredom. Find a place to sit down, look at a blank wall, and do literally nothing for exactly 5 minutes. As the quiet sets in, you will notice a highly uncomfortable wave of intense restlessness start to bubble up. Your brain will panic, looking for any quick hit of stimulation it can find. But right behind that discomfort, something else happens. An actual, genuine desire to tackle the very project that felt impossible just a few minutes ago begins to surface. By intentionally starving your brain of easy dopamine, you crash your baseline, and suddenly that dreaded work task becomes a step up in stimulation, making it the most attractive option available to you. This 5-minute reset works perfectly as an emergency eject button, but to maintain your motivation throughout the entire day, you need the up-up principle. Look at the schedule. If you start your morning with high-stimulation entertainment, you spike your baseline immediately. The rest of the day's work feels like a total chore, and you spend hours fighting the urge to escape. Now watch how the up-up structure fixes this. You build an ascending curve. You start your day with focused work while your baseline is naturally low. Then you move up to a workout and reserve the highest stimulation, like gaming, for the peak. When you align your tasks with an ascending curve, your entertainment stops being a desperate escape mechanism. Instead, it becomes a deeply satisfying earned reward. You now have a complete system. Use the 5-minute reset for an immediate injection of motivation when you're stuck, and apply the up-up principle to structure a consistently productive day. Living permanently inside a high-stimulation bubble destroys your capacity to want anything outside of it. Truly meaningful challenges require a mind that isn't constantly drowning in digital noise. So, as this video closes, do not click on another thumbnail. Do not open another tab. Step away from your screen. Unplug entirely. Go find a blank wall and use 5 minutes of nothingness to build the drive to crush your biggest project.